What's up, folks? It's Go Home Week for the WWE here on Players Code Talks Wrestling. We're going to cover Raw and Smackdown. We're just going to jump right in. So, week of the 26th of May, with Payback being on Sunday, June 1st. And, you can tell I'm not very enthusiastic about it because, well, there's this theory going around that the writers just happen to take some time off between WrestleMania and July, and they kind of rest up before they start heading to SummerSlam. And there's been a lot of stuff that's happened, and I don't know why I'm doing this preface, basically because I'm tired and I'm just rambling. I'm rambling a minute in, so bear with me. But with Brian being hurt and all that stuff, it definitely feels like this is kind of a mail it in type of pay-per-view. So, but maybe I'll cover more at the end. Anyway, so we open up the show. The Authority is in the ring. They're basically very unhappy with Brad Maddox for allowing the Shield to be commentators and allowing that whole thing to happen last week. So, Kane interrupts, comes down, choke slams, and tombstones Brad Maddox. Stephanie then proceeds to fire Brad Maddox. So that opened up the show. Not sure, for a guy who's barely been on TV since I didn't even know he existed until a couple weeks ago. So a guy that's barely been on TV at all, to have him be fired really isn't. It's not a big thing. I don't know if they're gonna actually do something with his character or what's gonna happen there. Next up, we get Cesaro and RVD. A match that I thought was gonna be a rivalry for a while, but apparently they flip flopped, and now Cesaro is taking on Sheamus for the United States title come Sunday. Weird turn. I don't know what the hell's been going on. And then RVD's taking on Bad News Barrett for the Intercontinental title. So, not a bad match. These guys seem to be getting better at working together. RVD actually seems to be working off some of the ring rust. He seems to be getting a little bit better every week, which is nice. Cesaro wins his second straight match in a row off of a distraction last week. Paul Heyman distracted Sheamus. And this week, Paul Heyman distracted RVD, I think. I can't remember. It was anyway, but he went off of a distraction. So they're definitely going full heel with Cesaro right now, and which is good because I think that's the direction they needed, a direction, and they picked one finally. And putting it with Heyman, you just kind of automatically assume he's a heel. Sheamus shows up after the match, and Brogue kicks Cesaro's head off. So basically kind of building more to the feud. Next up, you've got a fucking Total Divas match. Summer Rae versus Eva Marie. Basically, the match starts about 2 minutes in. Fandango and Layla come out and distract Summer Rae, and Eva rolls up for the win. So, if you got to pee, go now, because that was it's just. I don't know. I mean, I get it that Total Divas obviously is doing well enough to be renewed for a third season. So it's obvious people are watching it. But I don't know how many people are tuning into WWE, or sorry, to Raw to see the Total Divas plot move forward. It's ridiculous. It kind of just really devalues the Divas division, which is already devalued in and of itself, because there really are only a very small handful of divas who can actually wrestle on the main roster. NXT is a little bit of a different story. But anyway, so the next segment I actually really enjoyed, because the Rhodes brothers were in Triple H's office and Orton and Batista were in there, and they come in, and the Rhodes brothers demand a match. They're trading insults, and Cody calls Batista a skinny jeans sellout. I laughed for probably a good minute or so about that. It was just great, and I'm glad that somebody wrote that. That there was somebody in the back goes, well, in this exchange, what should we have? Oh, we should have Cody comment on his skinny jeans. And it was perfect. It was fucking perfect. And then Orton and Batista kind of recovering after that, where Orton's like, nah, man, your jeans are fine, or some shit like that. It was really funny. So I really enjoyed that. So then they're gonna have a match: the Rhodes Brothers versus Batista and Orton. Also, something dastardly is hinted because Triple H says it's not going to be any normal match. So, there is something dirty afoot. Next up, you got Drew McIntyre versus El Torito. God. I don't get the point of having El Torito come out and squash the members of 3MB. I just don't understand the point. At Payback, there's going to be Hornswoggle versus El Torito in a hair versus mask match. The only problem with this is they haven't really built it. And the other one they didn't really build either way, but it kind of came out of nowhere. It was a big surprise. Everybody really enjoyed the match. This one is just, it almost, it's trying to ring, it's like beating a dead horse almost. But, and I'm okay, I know I say I wanted more of the feud, which is true, but I want it to be an actual feud. Like, let these guys do what normal wrestlers would do, not just throw them in the ring because they're little people and we think it's hilarious. Besides the fact that El Torito can actually really fucking wrestle, which is awesome. Well, wrestle a guy his size, because Drew McIntyre kind of tossed him around. But obviously, Torito picks up the pin, and then Hornswoggle rips off Torito's tail. God. It's sad, and I have it written down that it's sad that them standing in the ring, standing tall, with the tail, is what 3MB has come down to. It's really sad. I mean, these guys obviously were never very big to start with, but just the fact that, the whole fucking team is jobbed to this bull is terrible. JBL needs to calm his shit on the bull. Next up, you got the Wyatts. This was actually a pretty cool segment. I enjoyed this. They come out and they say have a message for the C Nation. Bray cuts a awesome promo, one of the better ones. I know I say that every promo is great, and I probably said that every promo over the last month has been fantastic. This one was above. This one was really, really good. It was really good. It worked really well. So I would suggest you go watch it. Like I said, just really good, standing out promo. He gets to the end and he calls out Jerry Lawler. Basically, he says, Jerry Lawler, you have sold this Cena propaganda to the people. You have, no matter what he's done, you have sold how good of a man he is and all the good he does, and you are the cause of this poison that has taken over, that is the C Nation. And so he basically calls Lawler into the ring, and Lawler's like, fuck no, I'm not going in there with the crazy bearded man. And so he sends the boys out. He sends Luke, and he sends Roman. He sends Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Sorry, I'm thinking Shield. JBL tries to stop them and ends up just eating a fucking clothesline from Luke Harper. It was awesome. JBL has his moments where he is funny on commentary, and then he annoys the shit out of me other times. So, it was. But Harper looked like he fucking laid it on him, which was awesome. They bring King in the ring. They bring Lawler in the ring. I basically say you're gonna pay. I'm gonna make an example of you. You are the voice of this. You're the guy who's spewed this propaganda to the masses. So he's, Cena's music hits. Cena hits the ring, gets the shit beat out of him. Honestly, actually, the numbers game. And they were gonna make John Cena watch as Bray delivered Sister Abigail to Lawler, and the Usos come in and make the save, and then Cena actually cuts a decent promo. I shit on Cena a lot, but I will be one of the first people to say that his promo, because basically the Usos run in, make the save, clear the ring, but yeah, Cena actually cuts a good promo. It was that now you're punishing innocent people for your beliefs. Like, you're no longer the necessary evil, you're just evil. You think that you're a god. You've lost your mind basically. And now Cena says he's gonna put him down and all that. Like I said, it was actually an okay promo. I was pretty impressed, and I shit on John Cena at every chance that I get. So for me to give him props, it's a big deal. Oh yeah, oh my god, it's Zack Ryder. Oh yeah, by the way, this show took place on Memorial Day, in case you didn't quite put it together. Zack Ryder comes out waving the American flag. So instantly, Rusev's coming out to fucking crush this guy. Zack Ryder is actually on television. I haven't seen Zack Ryder on television in a very long time. So he comes out with the U.S. flag, and I even before anything even happens, I just write, "This is gonna be a Rusev squash." You just obviously. So Lana comes out, does her introduction, shits on the USA, all that, yada yada. 15-second squash. Ryder gets put in the accolade, made the tap, and then Big E hits the ring and actually gets the better of Rusev finally. Which leads into they have a match at Payback. We're gonna see Rusev versus Big E. Hopefully Rusev will do something that will make me interested in him again, because I'm bored of Rusev at this point. So hopefully this will be the first time they can actually do something with Rusev to make me interested again. Hopefully Big E can do it. But yeah, so they had the US, Big E's there waving the American flag after he knocks Rusev out of the ring. So obviously it's Memorial Day. They're not going to let the Russian walk out victorious. Up next, you got the Rhodes Brothers versus Orton and Batista. Pretty good match. Cody definitely looked good. It was seemed like an offensive focus for Cody, and he looked really good. I was impressed with Cody Rhodes. I'm also still impressed with Goldust. Just considering how old he is. I mean, he's not like super old, but he's pretty damn old. So just the fact that he's still as athletic as he is, I am kind of sad I missed their tag team title run, because from what I've heard, like Goldust has been in the best shape of his career these past like year or so. So, but it was a good match. I enjoyed it. Cody sadly got pinned, and then after that, it was announced that it was an elimination match, and that it was now a 2-on-1 no holds barred match. And Orton and Batista just fucking destroyed Goldust. Basically, obviously, it was sending a message to the Shield, pretty much. So, yeah, they kind of there wasn't any progress in the Rhodes brothers like falling apart. So I don't know if they're. I'm not sure what the hell's going on with that, because they weren't even on the show last week, and then this week they just kind of played. They were the message to the Shield this week. So I'm not 100% sure where they're going with the Rhodes brothers feud, if at all, anywhere. Also absent from the show is Rybaxel, completely absent from the show. So yeah, weird, but no, good segment. I liked it. Good match. Everybody seemed pretty good. It's sad that Batista is just getting back into ring shape. Like these past couple weeks, he's just getting back into ring shape, and then he leaves. He's either done after Payback or he's leaving the Raw after. So, and to do press for Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's really shitty that he's just getting back into it and he's leaving again. But what are you gonna do? Entertainment's entertainment. Bo Dallas versus Sin Cara. First time I got to watch Bo Dallas. In WWE, in the main roster, because I didn't watch SmackDown. You guys know I don't watch SmackDown. I just cover it. So they basically repeat the Bo Dallas and Cara match. Man, Bo comes out and the fans don't give a shit. I don't think they know what to make of his gimmick yet. I don't think they know whether or not, like, he's supposed to be cheered, he's supposed to be booed, like, they're supposed to buy into the motivational shit, or they're supposed to, like, hate him because he's such an over-optimistic asshole. So the fans don't know what to do with him yet. Not a bad match. Bo can wrestle pretty well. I haven't watched a lot of his NXT stuff. I did watch him take on Adrian Neville a couple weeks ago, and he's a pretty good wrestler. Kind of interesting though. He's kind of got a little bit of a flabby tummy, and WWE likes to put that in slow motion. I found, which is funny as hell. So he picks up the win, obviously. I wish Sin Cara got a little more time. He looked really good in this match. I don't know if it was just because it was against Bo or what, but Sin Cara actually looked pretty good in this match. It flowed really well. Uh, Fans are still not to make sure don't know what to do with Bo's gimmick. He shakes Sin Cara's hand at the end and gives him a hug and gives him the thumb and says "Bo leave" and all that bullshit. Also, apparently, it's come out now that he's thanking all the fans for his 2-0 undefeated streak. So hopefully they continue that. I am with the people online that say that needs to continue because that will tell the fans what to do. You got a guy who's already calling it an undefeated streak at 2-0. Obviously, the fans are going to probably pick up on that, especially with the similarities to another streak, and most likely will pick up on it and most likely boo him. Yes. So Stephanie McMahon is coming out to accept Bryan's titles. So she comes out, she's expecting Bryan to surrender the titles. Bryan cuts a good promo, basically saying, you know, it took, it was such a hard journey and, all this stuff. Basically, he ends up saying no, starting a no chant, and the crowd loses it when he comes on stage. First of all, like these fans are still madly in love with Daniel Bryan, which is awesome, and they should be, you know. Um, so yeah, he basically says no, I'm not dropping the titles, and rumor is they're not gonna have him drop the belts. Period. So I'm interested for Payback because basically Stephanie McMahon says, well, because Brie put her hands on me 2 weeks ago when you got put into the ambulance, um, if you don't surrender your titles at Payback, I'm gonna fire your wife. So the rumor is, so yeah. So Daniel Bryan says, and oh yeah. So sorry, I got lost my train of thought there for a second. Anyway, so the rumor is they're not gonna have him drop the belts, and it seems like that. Also, there was a kind of a story. Brie Bella actually did an interview with the E Network. I fucking hate that I'm talking about Total Divas, but it is relevant, I swear. Basically says she's kind of getting ready to retire. She's getting up there. She's married now. She wants to settle down and have kids. She's getting ready to hang up her boots. Whether or not that is actually true or it's a kayfabe thing or what, we don't know. So, but take that what you will. So basically, we'll find out at Payback whether or not Bryan's actually going to surrender the titles or Stephanie McMahon's going to actually fire in quotes Brie Bella. So Stephanie really tries at the end of that because she's like, Brie will be fired. She really tries to like imitate Vince, and it just doesn't work. She just doesn't have the voice for it. It fell flat really badly. Up next, you got Alicia Fox versus Emma. Poor Emma gets less reception than, well, probably not less reception, but it's almost worse that they cut to the crowd to find like the 6 people that do her arm thing with her, because I assume it's because she's popping the bubbles. I don't know, but it's almost worse that they cut to the crowd to try and show that some people are into it, because it just seems like you really only see like there's like 3 or 4 groups of like maybe 2 or 3 people, and like maybe one big group of like maybe 6 that's like doing the arm thing as she's coming down the ramp. I feel bad for her. Because she's not a bad wrestler. She's not great, but she's not bad. She's actually okay, but it's just the gimmick is just she does not. No one knows what to do with that. It's at least they stopped pairing her with Santino Marella. That shit has stopped, and Santino has been absent from Raw for a couple weeks. So I don't know if something's up with that, but they have stopped that shit. Uh, Emma rolls up Fox for the win. I said it's always good to have the challenger eat a clean pin right before the pay-per-view for the title match. It's a weird choice because you now had Alicia Fox lose to Paige for 1 week. She lost to, who did she fight that 1 week? She lost another match. She lost 2 matches in a row. I can't remember who the other one is. My apologies. She lost 2 matches in a row. Then she comes back and beats Paige on Raw last week in a shitty fucking match. It was a weird match. Now that I remember going back and looking at it, shitty fucking match. And then loses to Emma this week. Makes no fucking sense. And Alicia Fox, if she's going to use that backbreaker as a finisher, she needs to stop fucking using it 4 times a match. Because it's really annoying. It's one of those things where it's like, it's a move that she does really well. I'll admit, it looks really nice. She does it well. She did botch it here tonight. Because after the match, she hit it on Emma. So she botches it tonight, but it's a move she does well. But you can't just do the same goddamn move over and over again. It just doesn't work. So obviously she loses. She has her freak out moment and does all her shit. I'm tired. I don't know. It's one of those things that's just like too much of a good thing. Even though I wasn't really impressed with it to start, like the whole crazy, I'm gonna fucking over celebrate or go on a warpath if I win or lose. It's just one of those things that just, and it's probably she just doesn't get enough time to develop it. Literally all the time she gets is the work in the ring, and then the 2 minutes doing whatever she does on the outside after the match. She doesn't get to talk on a microphone and explain it or anything like that. It's literally, we just have to use that time. And I feel like that's why I'm not as into it as I would be otherwise. It just doesn't feel very fleshed out to me. So that's that. So yeah, you could skip it. You could go either way with it. This didn't make any fucking sense to me. Damien Sandow comes out dressed as Davy fucking Crockett. Apparently he was on the pre-show. Apparently I need to start watching the goddamn Raw pre-show. But fuck me, this made no sense. So he comes out dressed as Davy Crockett. Adam Rose comes out. Crowd does not care. Like, the UK crowd, he must have been really spoiled by that UK crowd to come back to the US and realize that, oh right, these fans don't give a shit. He comes out, but by God, Adam Rose is finally getting his debut match on Raw. It has been almost a month, and he's finally getting a match. Bo Dallas had a match the first night he debuted on the roster. Granted, it was his re-debut, but still, he got a match on SmackDown his first night on the roster. Adam Rose had to wait a month. I don't know why. Could have been visa issue. No, it wouldn't be visa issues. He's been wrestling in NXT for months. I don't know why the fuck Adam Rose didn't have a debut match. Anyway, and of course it's interrupted by fucking Swagger. But Rose fends Swagger off, and then hits the party foul on Davy Crockett, and wins. And then Rose kind of does that thing where Swagger comes out with one of Rose's rosebuds. The dude who looks like a Pac-Man, one of the power pellets. And one of the things that is kind of in with Rose's characters, you don't fuck with his rosebuds. And then his fucking complexion completely changes, and he just looks like he's gonna murder you. And so he goes into that mode. He beats the shit out of Swagger, and yeah, basically that kind of ends that. Then he goes back into party mode. So, God damn it, Adam Rose needs to get a full match. He wrestled at NXT Takeover, which took place Thursday night against Camacho, and it was a good match. People said it was a good match. I haven't watched it yet. I want to. I need to. Apparently, people say NXT Takeover was fucking awesome. So if you guys haven't watched NXT Takeover or don't watch NXT and have the WWE Network, go watch it. It's on there. Apparently, people say it was fucking phenomenal, which is great and gives me hope for the future. With guys like Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville and Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze? Yeah. The selfie guy. I don't remember. Guy annoys the shit out of me, but he's a good wrestler. So, either way. Back to Raw. We got Sheamus and Del Rio. Not sure why they put these guys together. They don't. Not exactly the best chemistry between these two guys. It was an okay match. I did like that because Alicia Fox had come out and fucked, obviously she had done her thing and she had fucked with the announce table. And then these two guys were they were out there messing around the announce table, and poor JBL. There's like he just drops a very subtle line of God or damn, we need a Spanish announce table out here. So JBL does have his moments where he makes me chuckle, and the bunny shit. Every time he talks about the bunny, I don't know why, but I enjoy it. But anyway, so match. Okay, Sheamus is really selling a head injury. So Del Rio is delivering some fucking solid ass looking kicks to Sheamus, and it's just exacerbating the head injury that he's selling. But Sheamus still hits the Brogue Kick for the win. Heyman just happens to be ringside. Like, I'm not sure if he slipped out there during the match or was just hiding behind the belt, the timekeeper. But he pops up and insults Sheamus. Cesaro hits the ring and beats him down, hits him with the neutralizer. Fucking Will Smith popped in there and erased his memory. Sorry. Hits him with the neutralizer, and yeah. So basically, like I said, we're getting Cesaro and Sheamus for the U.S. title. My question is, I want to say, so I don't. I want to say that Sheamus is not a transitional champion where they want to put the belt on Cesaro. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but anything's a possibility. But I don't see it happening. It just feels. So yeah, not sure if it'll be a transitional thing or not, but I doubt anything could happen. Alright, up next, final bit of the show. You got Shield versus Evolution contract signing. Shield hits the ring. They've got the traditional chairs, table set up, and I just like that Roman Reigns just starts tossing these fucking nice ass office chairs out of the ring. And the Shield's like, this isn't gonna be a normal contract signing. We all know this. So let's just clear this shit out. So they're tossing the table, they're tossing the chairs, and fucking all that shit. Evolution comes out, and basically, like every time these fucking guys are in the ring, before that actually, they added the stipulation that if the Shield loses, they have to disband. So they actually had the Triple H said that you sign that contract, you're signing that not only are we in a elimination 6-man no holds barred match come Payback, if you guys fail to beat us, you have to disband. Not if the losing team has to disband. It's specifically the Shield, from what I understand. So, they sign the contracts. Brawl ensues. Evolution comes out on top, and they triple powerbomb Reigns through the table. The announce table. Kind of almost reminiscent of the Shield's debut, where they triple powerbombed Ryback through the announce table during his triple threat match with Punk and Cena for the WWE Championship before the belts were unified. So, I don't know if it's telling or not, or what's going on. But, so, this show was okay. As far as go-home shows, it didn't, drive my interest. So, yeah, as far as go-home shows go, this wasn't... Sorry if my audio keeps getting choppy, I keep getting interrupted. Yeah, as far as go-home shows go, it was okay. I mean, Payback's, like I said, a real lackluster pay-per-view as it is right now anyway, so you weren't going to get a lot of... there's not a lot to move. Not quite a lot of Shield on this show, which is interesting because they were the focal point for the first 2 weeks, and the last couple weeks it's been more on Cena and Wyatt, which is fine because Bray Wyatt is probably one of my favorite things about wrestling right now. So, whether or not Shield ends at Payback, I don't know. It's an interesting question. The only thing that would make me say yes is the fact that they've kind of now run out of things to do. Like they went from they turned face, and it's not like they kind of built up to this feud. They went face, boom, top of the mountain feud. Like they feuded with Evolution, one of the most well-known and best factions in modern day wrestling. From like the 2000s, and so it wasn't like they built up pissing Triple H off. Then he reforms Evolution. They kind of had to rush it because of how little time they had with Batista, I think. I want to say that's probably why they rushed this. And so now the Shield doesn't have anywhere to go. Like, who are they going to take on next? They're going to go back and fight the Wyatts? Which, don't get me wrong, it's like the new Freebirds versus Von Erichs. I know I've said that before. But at the same time, it's like that doesn't... It just doesn't help in the story. So, I don't want the Shield to be done. But at the same time, I could see it happening simply because they have nowhere else to go after this. So, everything else I really don't have much speculation on. Cesaro and Sheamus, I really don't think they're going to have Sheamus drop the belt. Sheamus they've built him way too strong for him to be a transitional champion, even though they did have Edge kind of fill that role. But at the same time, it's a little different. Also, I did not cover Bad News Barrett versus RVD for the Intercontinental title. No way Bad News drops the belt. Not to RVD. Not right now. Maybe a little more time, but not right now. They need to build that feud some more before anything can happen. So, Paige and Alicia Fox, I swear to God, if Paige drops the belt, I will table flip my computer and everything I own, because that would be literally the shittiest run for one of the best female wrestlers in the WWE. So I really fucking hope that Alicia Fox doesn't win the belt, because I'm gonna be really pissed if she does. I don't know why I'm doing this at the end of the Raw segment. I could do it at the end of the SmackDown segment, but by the time I get there, I'm already, reading SmackDown just makes me depressed, and I always forget. So I'm doing it now. John Cena, Bray Wyatt. I hope Bray goes over, simply because I think it would progress the storyline, and it's the only way to progress the storyline without having it just feel forced, like it's kind of been. But at the same time, I don't see John Cena losing a last man standing match. It's kind of like challenging to an I Quit match. It's not something that John Cena loses very often, or So we'll have to see. Rusev and Big E. I just hope that they can make a match out of it. That's basically my hope for that. Torito and Hornswoggle. I got kind of burnt out on this just because how poorly it was handled. Okay, so now we're flipping to SmackDown. Edit all that shit out. We're flipping to SmackDown right now. So, Shield kicks off SmackDown with a promo on Evolution Payback. Reigns says they will pay for putting him through a table. So, basically, the basic promo. You get Cesaro and Kofi Kingston. Cesaro comes out to a big pop with Paul Heyman. Cesaro gets the win and attacks Kofi after the match, hitting him with the neutralizer. So, not sure why he would continue to attack Kofi after the match, after he's already won it. So, rematch from Extreme Rules, Paige versus Tamina. Paige picks up the win with the Scorpion Crosslock. Crosslock. I call it a Deathlock. I just call it the inverted Scorpion Deathlock, but it's Crosslock. Fox came out during the match and taunted Paige with the title belt. Oh, so she picked up the belt and taunted her with it. But she tried to distract Paige for the win and backfired. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about. Fuck it. I'll cover at the end. Like I said, I'm fucking 2-3 segments into this fucking show. I'm already pissed off. Xavier Woods versus Bo Dallas. Bo comes out and cuts another Bo leaving promo. He gets the win with the Bo Dog, because that's a good name for a finisher. So yeah, he's actually 3-0 now since his debut. He is 3-0 in the WWE on the main roster. I really don't even want to fucking talk about Jinder Mahal versus El Torito, and he still doesn't have his tail, and Torito still gets the win. So Torito literally has a victory over every member of 3MB. Fucking Christ. Comes to find out, Jimmy Uso and Bray Wyatt will take place in a last man standing match later tonight. What the fuck? See, this is why I don't watch SmackDown. Heyman comes out. I'll get to this all at the end. Heyman comes out, does the Undertaker streak thing, joins commentary and joins commentary as Bad News Barrett and Sheamus take each other on. Interesting, champion versus champion match. Apparently, people say a must-see brawl. Big big dueling chants. Sheamus got the win after a finishing sequence that was described as amazing. So apparently we need to go watch that match. So if you got the WWE Network, go watch Bad News Barrett versus Sheamus. I might have to go do it myself. One of those matches that one of those things, one of the sleeper matches that happen on SmackDown. Big E comes out with an American flag and squashes Titus O'Neil. Lana came out, interrupted, and cut a promo that got huge heat and USA chants, and they watched the match from ringside. Apparently, nothing came of that. Adam Rose comes out to his biggest pop yet. Wow, so apparently the fans are really into Adam Rose this week. Although, right, forgot SmackDown's heavily edited, so that's probably why. Rose went on to beat Swagger in a match and taunt Zeb Coulter. Wow, so he actually got a match. I'm a little sad now. I didn't watch SmackDown. Only a little, very small amount of sad that I didn't watch SmackDown. And then Bray Wyatt versus Jimmy Uso in the Last Man Standing match. This match gets the CM Punk chant award, apparently. Was described as a good physical match, but Wyatt destroyed the Uso in front of the announce table and got the win to end SmackDown. So, SmackDown. Let's start with yeah. Apparently this SmackDown actually had some things I kind of would want to watch. Cesaro versus Bad News, or not Cesaro versus Bad News, sorry. Sheamus versus Bad News, which apparently is described as being awesome. Well, these guys had a great match in the IC tournament title tournament. They had a fucking awesome match, so I wouldn't expect anything less from these two guys. I would like to see Adam Rose actually maybe get to wrestle a whole match, but I get that Bray Wyatt wants to establish some momentum going into Payback. Sorry, they want to establish momentum for Bray Wyatt going into Payback. But I'm getting... what the fuck? Why would you have a last man standing match just a couple days before your pay-per-view? Like I said, I understand they're trying to establish momentum, but why not save that? Like, do the 10 count thing again for the Uso. Like where they last week where Sister Abigail Cena on the stage and they counted to 10. Do that with the Uso. Do it again to hammer it into the ground. But you don't actually have to have a goddamn match because it lessens the value of the match. Fuck, man, that pisses me off a lot, and I don't even really know why. Like, why does that make me so angry? Also, Alicia Fox, like, Alicia would be more threatened if you hadn't just lost to Emma a couple days ago. So, yeah, it's that whole feud kind of lost its wind with that. Fucking Bo Dallas, I'm on the Bo train. I'm believing. Just hopefully enough that he'll be able to get over. Granted, I know I'm shitting on. Oh, God damn it! Sorry, interrupted again. So yeah, I don't know. I feel kind of bad for calling out SmackDown for being heavily edited, although it's basically common knowledge that SmackDown, because it's taped so far in advance before it airs, it's pretty much common knowledge that it's very heavily edited. Even Raw has some aspects, but because it's live, they can't do as much. So yeah, it's yeah. So the weekend review, the go home shows weren't great. It was, it's lackluster go homes for lackluster pay per views. Like I say, week in week out, the Shield and Bray Wyatt are still the best things in WWE right now. Daniel Bryan is hopefully going to be back sooner than we think, so that's good. So hopefully we'll actually get to see him feud with somebody. I'd like to see him feud with Bray Wyatt, to be honest. I'd still like to see them put the Yes movement up against the Buzzards. Because you have basically a cult-like following in the Yes movement versus the actual cult with the Wyatt family. So I'd like to see Bray Wyatt actually feud with Bray Wyatt. Hopefully he could do some different things with his promos and stuff like that. But Also, I'd like to see the tag titles do something, and hopefully, with the Usos getting closer and closer, it seems like hopefully we're getting closer and closer to Rowan and Harper getting at least a words tag team title match. So, yeah. So basically, for this week, that's it. Um, Mike will be returning for the post pay-per-view show Monday. So we'll record that Monday. It'll go up hopefully before Raw on Monday, so you guys can we can do that. If not, it'll go up very shortly. It'll be up that day hopefully. So uh yeah, so Mike will be returning. Mike has finished his schoolwork. He's graduating. Let's all, big shout out to Mike for graduating and finishing high school and buckling down and doing it. Good job, buddy. Uh so yeah, look forward to that. Look forward to our post pay per view show coming Monday. And thank you guys very much for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Go check out Watch Dogs. The first set of videos is up. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.